friends, it's Jessica. Welcome back. I've got another quick tip for you guys. So this one has to do with sinuses because I just got over the sinus junk. And if you are anything like me, when the sinus junk hits, all of a sudden your nose clogs up tight and you can't breathe. So here is what I have found, especially this time around, really helped me. Believe it or not, essential oils applied topically. So my new one that I just grabbed was actually this one, Digest, which is crazy. This is actually a blend that is usually for all things stomach related. So normally if I have any kind of tummy issues, I'm rubbing Digest all over my abdomen. Not my favorite smell, but the blend Digest is partially what it is designed to do is to break up mucus in the stomach, which is one of the things that causes all those tummy issues. Well, I didn't have mucus in my stomach, but I sure had mucus in my head. So I took some of this and I ended up rubbing it directly on my sinuses. And guess what? All of a sudden I'm running for tissues because all of that mucus started breaking up, which was phenomenal. Now, I would recommend if you are going to put Digest on your face, dilute it. It does get a little warm and tingly on the skin of your face because the skin is delicate and sensitive and just, hey, as always, follow the recommendations on the bottle, right? But personal experience, it gets a little warm and tingly. So, but very effective. And then, so this was my new one that I hadn't really tried before. I'd heard other people tell me about it, but this was the first time I thought to actually grab it because my go-to is always rosemary. So normally I go around smelling like herbs and Italian food because I use a lot of rosemary. In fact, I use rosemary every night as a preventative. I like to rub it on the bottoms of my feet because the pores on the bottoms of your feet are really big and open and they absorb those oils really well. So I rub rosemary on my feet every single night so that I have an easier time breathing all night long. I find it helps me. It helps keep my sinuses clear and open, whereas before I started using rosemary, that was not always the case. And occasionally still, I catch a sinus infection or whatever and things get junky. But for the most part, this is my go-to. I tend to stay very clear and open. Nothing compared to what I used to have, which was basically spring and fall were miserable. I love the weather, hate the way I felt. And I'm so glad to say that since rosemary has entered my life, that has no longer been the case. I love spring and fall. So there you go. That was your quick tip for today on sinus support and what I use to help support my body through these crazy seasonal changes, and especially this crazy time of year. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love having you and I love hearing from you. So if you've got comments, leave them below, shoot me an email because community is what it's about, y'all. It's about if we can't connect as a community, then what are we doing? All right. So thank you so much again for joining me. And until next time, live well, my friends.